All right, everybody. Welcome. This is the Tuss Talk with Ty post-game show. Let's kick this off. 3, 2, 1. Yo, I don't know why I did that. I don't know. I just felt like it. It felt good. All right. Well, first off, let's just get things out of the way. Shout out to Patreon supporters. I appreciate all you guys, everyone who's a part of that. If you want to consider joining, the link is provided for you down below. Shout out to the sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They operate in Central Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas. They offer same-day services, quality parts, and affordable outcomes. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. Also, the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria located on Emma Street in Springdale. If you're in town, if you're watching this, maybe later on, you're not here for the live show, you're staying at a hotel, you're like, man, I'm really hungry, and I want some pizza, I want some pie, check out the Odd Soul. And great stuff on tap as well, great environment, great crew of people working at the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria. Again, just look them up on your phone. Look them up on the maps on your if you've got an iPhone, look them up on your Apple Maps. It's right there, baby. All right. Let me take a swig of water here. I'm not sure. Thank God you got BYU coming into town, and even that makes you wonder if you struggled as bad as you did today. Look, I get it. BYU, who did they play last week? Off the top of your head, you couldn't name the team. You couldn't name the university. You couldn't name their mascot. And then this week, they don't play anybody. But neither has Arkansas. And yet, back-to-back weeks, they have looked like shit on the offensive line. What is going on up front? And what's crazy is it's like it's the interior part of the offensive line. It's the area you're supposed to be the strongest. And they're clearly not. I don't know what the issue is. They had Brady Latham back. I saw Tykees Crawford playing. Crawford looked bad. I tell you, every time I watch him play, I'm like, why is he out there? Patrick Kutas got beat. Of course, he's out at right tackle. Not often, but he did get beat at least once, maybe twice, at least on pass protect. I can't figure this out. Like, this is – okay, like, is it a red flag? Is it enough to be a red flag? I don't know, man. You've only got 12 games, and you've already played 2 of them. And back-to-back weeks, we're saying the same thing. Why can't they get pushed? Now, before anybody says, but Ty, look at the second half. Go back and watch Kent State in the fourth quarter. They're gassed. They're done. Arkansas, hell, you and I could have run the football up the gut for 6 or 7 yards a carry. No, I couldn't. Let's be real. But maybe 20 years ago, and not even then. But the gist of what I'm saying is they were done. They were spent. Arkansas got some yardage. When Kent State was up and at them, first 2.5, 3 quarters, they were toe-to-toe, if not, I mean, they were at least toe-to-toe with the Arkansas interior offensive line. I'm not impressed with what's going on up front. You're year 4 under Sam Pittman, and I can't figure out what the hell they're doing on the offensive line. They're cheeks, man. For you older people, that means they're bad. And I am saying that ironically because I like saying – like, bruh. If you catch me saying bruh in Discord, I'm doing it ironically. Just FYI. It's funny. Keep in mind, I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. I have 2 daughters, and I walk around all day, and I say, bruh, no cap, for real. I feel so stupid saying that. But, no, I am at least concerned about what's going on the offensive line. Pass protect wasn't so super great. It's also not a good feeling that KJ had to once again put this team on his shoulders and find a way to get a bigger lead. And I know, listen, yeah, they won 28-6. But this is a garbage Kent State football team. This is a bad Kent State football team, and they were toe to toe with you, and they were making you nervous in an entire opening half. They're making you very nervous. And if you say otherwise, I think you're lying. All right? Now, let's do a poll here. Are you concerned moving forward? No specifics, but are you concerned? Maybe you had Arkansas 10-2. Maybe you had Arkansas, maybe you had them not going bowling, and if that's the case, then, I don't know, don't take the poll. Are you concerned moving forward? 86% of you right now say yes. Do me a favor, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please check out all the links provided for you guys down below. Super Chat is up, even though I don't have the lower third on the screen. Super Chat is up and rolling. The defense would have won the game by themselves. Yeah, back-to-back weeks. Listen, for anyone, and I found this interesting, I'm going to call somebody out if they're being silly, and we had someone on our Discord today, and listen, no disrespect. I'm not trying to take a dump on somebody here, but so I won't say his name. He's someone, I've never seen him in our Discord before, but he said that he was blaming the run defense. He was blaming the defensive line in the first half, which I thought was silly. The defense, the front six, the guys playing in the box have been the strength of this football team now for 8 quarters. I don't care who they're playing against. I don't care about any of that. For 8 quarters, that's been the strength of this football team, is that defensive front. And you're going to tell me when a team's given up just 2 yards a rush at that time, I think it was actually like 2.2 yards a carry off like 20 or so carries, your concern is the defensive line? What? Like, again, linebackers and the defensive line have done their part. Back-to-back weeks with pick sixes from 2 different linebackers. How about Greer? I think that was his first play. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Gould says 5-7 year. Azazian on Absurdity says, on a lighter note, Tesla is legit. Been telling you guys all fall and spring camp he could catch everything. Okay, don't play the victim after a comment like that. Don't play the victim. Listen, it is what it is. There are bright spots. Tesla was a bright spot. That front 7, front 6 of that defense, definitely a bright spot. Overall, I thought the secondary pretty good. Now, I don't know what exactly happened with Dwight McLaughlin. He did not play more than 1 snap. I'm assuming he got hurt. I don't know. I don't have the information on that. Hopefully we get something from Sam tonight or maybe Monday. Another guy that has just stood out, and I don't know. Let me pull up the actual Razorback website here. Let's look at the defense here. Jahan Thomas at linebacker, once again, just looks the part, man. 12 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. I thought he had a pass breakup, but it doesn't look like he did. How about Johnson on his redemption tour, man? Jaden Johnson, 8 tackles. Pooh Paul, who was suspended, remember that first half? He came back in the second half. He had 5 tackles, a sack, and a TFL. I wonder what the difference would have been in the first half with him and Thomas on the field at the same time. Cam Ball looked impressive. For whatever reason, they don't give him credit for the TFL, but he had a TFL in the third quarter. I thought he crashed, man. I thought he did a great job. Torrin Carter, who got credit for a TFL. Jeff Coat, 1.5 sacks, 2 TFLs, 3 tackles. The defense held up their end of the bargain, guys. The defense has not been the issue. Did they give up some open throws? That's going to happen. That's the game of football, baby. That's just what happens. It just seemed like the offense was playing at 75% speed. Yeah, I agree. I agree 110%. You know what? I know he's the administrator, but I'm going to pin that. I'm going to pin that, Mr. Administrator. I know Miami and A&M are playing right now, so I do appreciate you guys. Maybe you've got the game on. I don't actually. I have Tennessee. Wait, is that Tennessee? Where's the A&M game? Damn it. I want the A&M game. What's going on? Texas at Bama. Is that on now? I thought that was, for some reason I thought that was 6:30. Well, for some reason I'm not going to mess around with it right now. I'll watch it after the stream. Yeah, I'm concerned. I am concerned. I will say that I am concerned. 28-6. last year we could see hints, and I'm not saying this team's going to finish 6-6, but after South Carolina, after Missouri State, maybe even the Cincy game, because I wasn't really buying in on Cincy at all. There was something about those games where I thought, man, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, and there ended up being fire. And, of course, that issue, one of the glaring issues for that team last year was what? It was the secondary. Now, I think the issue on the offensive line is at least more salvageable than what was going on in the secondary from a year ago. I think they can fix what's going on the offensive line. Does that mean they will? No. Not necessarily. I don't know. But I think it's certainly fixable up front. I know people want to take they want to dump on Pittman year 4, what's going on. I get that. I totally get that, and I do think there is some criticism that is deserved to some degree. Like, hey, wait, man, why are you getting dominated on your interior part of your offensive line that's supposed to be a strength? On the flip side to that, there's going to be someone that comes through and says, never happy, 22-point win, so on and so forth. The point is the entire offensive line, I'm just going to stop saying interior, the offensive line could not get push against a bad Kent State, who's now 0-2, a bad Kent State football team. KJ did not look solid. KJ ended up going 13 of 19. Let me refresh that. I thought he didn't break 20 throws today. Okay, 13 of 19, 136 yards. AJ Green did end up with, again, he got some good runs there in the fourth quarter. 15 carries, third and fourth quarter, 15 carries, 82 yards. He had a 23-yard run from the line of scrimmage. That was his longest. KJ was 13 carries for 48 yards. To Slaw in the passing game, 3 grabs for 51 yards and had 3 grabs for 26 yards. How about Andrew Armstrong, though? Quietly, he only had 21 yards through the air, but he had 2 touchdowns. Is he a red zone problem for secondaries? I mean, he ought to be with his size, man. We did see some drops. We saw a couple. I think they had, I don't know how many they're going to get. I think I spotted at least 2 drops. Consistency was something I was hoping for compared to last week or coming into this week from last week. They didn't get it. They did not get it. Boy, ESPN's got some numbers here that are wrong. Let's pull this over here. According to Arkansas stats, receiving, Wilson had 2 grabs for 31 yards. Has had 3 for 26. Teslaw 3 for 51. So that's 17 yards per catch for Teslaw. That's a direction you want to go in. And again, defensively, I thought they did really well. I thought defensively they did really well. Alamo for them, Alamo, 11 of 17, 174 yards with an interception, completion percentage of 65%. And they had a grand total. Their total runs, and this is from ESPN, 36 carries for 26 yards. Thank God you got these 3 weeks to get things. Now, there's a bad side to this, right? There's a bad side to playing these opponents because you're not really getting tested against good teams. You're getting put to the test by Western Carolina, Kent State, and BYU. That's what you have to work with, right? Like, okay, these guys are going to have to, in a way, they're going to help us. They're going to show us what we need to fix. Western Carolina, Kent State, and BYU going into SEC play. I'm going to tell you right now, man, if they don't have this fixed, if BYU does something similar along the line of scrimmage where they just dominate on the defensive line, or I shouldn't say dominate, but something similar to what we've seen the last 2 weeks from Western Carolina and Kent State, meaning that Arkansas's offensive line hasn't gotten its shit together, that's going to be a red flag. Again, I'm not there yet as far as a red flag, but I am getting damn close. I'm reaching for that flag. I'm not holding it up yet, but I'm reaching for that flag. They got to get that fixed. Cade with a $5 super chat. I was joking. I know you were, but I'm just saying you got to be careful, man, even if you're kidding. I appreciate the super chat, though, man. Thank you. Kent State has a tiny D-line, too. Yeah, they rotated some guys that were definitely under 300 pounds. Tennessee must lose. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of wild today, though, right? Texas and Miami. Miami is up 38-26, under 10 minutes to go in the fourth. Washington, that was a game I was kind of curious about. They're only leading by 26 on top of Tulsa. Austin Peay is only trailing Tennessee 13-6. That's an 0-1 Austin Peay team as well. That's not a great Austin Peay team. Appalachian State going for another upset. You remember Michigan like 12 years ago, however long ago. Now they're on the road against North Carolina, and they're up 17-10. SMU in the first half only trailing Oklahoma 7-3, but that's still early. We had some more games in the SEC. Hang on. Middle Tennessee and Mizzou's going on. Ole Miss got the win over Tulane. They found a way to pull away 37-20. Georgia beat Ball State 45-3. Wake Forest over Vanderbilt 36-20. And Kentucky struggled with 0-1 Eastern Kentucky 28, only winning that game 28-17. So there's your scores. Heartbreaking to see the Waggy. I'm telling you, man. It's kind of wild this year. It's very hard to get a real firm grasp on what's going on. I think most of the play calling, this is Braden Tybolt. Am I pronouncing that right? I think most of the play calling today was just Pittman wanting to force the line to run block. You could be onto something there. But I'm seeing some similar play calling patterns to the last few years, which is worrying. Christian Holt, who's a Tuss Talk with Ty YouTube member. What's going on? Welcome. Steve-O says offense just needs time, new line, new wideouts, new scheme. Yeah, but see, in this day and age, man, I mean, you see what's happening. You know, I hate to pull this, but it is true, even though he pulled some crazy talent. You see what Deion's doing at Colorado. I mean, right out the gate, those guys are flying. I mean, it's hard for me these days. That just doesn't work like it used to. 3, 4, 5 years ago, I think that argument held quite a bit of water. Now it's like, no, man. Sam's fourth year. Kennedy's back for his third year. Deke is back, right? And look how much better the defensive line has been since he's been there, right? Much more competitive. We saw a little bit of improvement last year. The SEC looking down bad right now. Hey. I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. I don't care. Call me an SEC hater. I don't care. I'm here for it. Anything to slap that front office around a little bit. I've got a grudge against those guys, man. It's not really the teams. I respect most of the teams in this conference, but Miami's got the ball under 8 minutes to go, 38-26. God, you just love to see it. At least Arkansas is 2-0, and hopefully A&M is just 1-1. South Carolina plays Furman. Auburn at Cal. That game, that kickoff isn't until 9:30 our time. That's gonna be a late one. So you have some late football tonight. Bobby Swain says it's a now or never world. That's it, man. That's it. It just doesn't hold like it used to. You used to be able to say, like, okay, yeah, let's give them, let's give them some time, so on and so forth. And there is still truth in that to a degree. Again, you're getting Western Carolina, Kent State, and BYU to get things right. The problem is you had a week. You saw where your weaknesses were. You saw at least a weakness against Western Carolina, and it doesn't appear like you got it fixed. It looks like you're still getting beat up front, especially in the area where you're supposed to be the strongest on your offensive line in the interior. I would love to hear Pittman's take on this. Like what is going on with the interior part of your offensive line? What's happening? What's happening? The difference between us and everyone else is that we just play the literal last place team in college football, and they shut our offense down. And I will say, in Fish, that's your take. I don't completely disagree, although I think some of it was on – a lot of it to me was on Arkansas. It wasn't so much what they were really doing. It was what Arkansas wasn't doing, other than the offensive line not getting pushed. That's just, I don't know. But you had KJ missing on deep balls. Like, we want to sit here and blame everybody else. KJ was not sharp. Someone mentioned after that hit that he took when he plowed that kid, and that player had to sit out because he got banged up by KJ. Someone said, well, KJ's hurt. I'm pretty sure he had already thrown some incompletions before that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up. I feel like he was already 0 in the air. He hadn't completed a pass up until that point. That wasn't the first play of the game. So please, again, if I'm wrong, correct me. But he wasn't exactly on fire all day. I don't want to pin it on an excuse of an injury. I just don't think he was on it. There might be something going on that we just don't know about injury-wise. You know how they play that, though. We don't ever get the full story. J Hogg says O-line looks suspect. What's up, Pigpen? I see more running outside the tackles, not so much inside zone or power. Yeah, so I think the reason for that is because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. The interior is giving them nothing. The interior part of that offensive line is not getting pushed, so they're forced to go with those outside zone runs. He was already off, Ty. You're right. Suspect, the O-line needs a diaper change. Well, you can go and tell them that, Michael. No push, says Dontrell Wesley. Yeah, it's not there. It's not there, so they're forced with those outside runs. I do not like that KJ had to take this thing over. I don't like that. I mean, I was kind of hoping this would be a game where everyone around him would lift up that offense, have that confidence-boosting type of game where they just put up ridiculous yards. I mean, again, you remember what happened last week when these guys played UCF. They had over 700 yards of offense. Now, according to ESPN, Arkansas had 308. Third down efficiency, I think this is the exact same thing that they did last week, 9 of 14 on third down. Was that not the exact same number? It feels like it was. That's a good number. 9 of 14 is pretty effective. They're 1 for 2 on fourth down. I said they would be better across the board. God, did I swung and miss. I'm going to own up to it, man. I'm owning up to it. I swung and missed. I thought they'd have 250 yards rushing. I thought last week was just a small blip on the radar. They're going to get it fixed. They got Latham back. They're getting healthy up front. It was A.J. Green's chance. It was Rashard Dubinion, despite the back issues. It's going to be – and by the way, we didn't see Augustive. Did you guys see Augustive? Did he run the ball once? I don't know that he did. Was he in on that 3 running back set at the goal line? Was he in on that? I don't know. I didn't see it. I'll have to go back and watch the replay. But they were worse across the I mean, I whiffed hard on that, man. I whiffed hard on that. Yeah, I was wrong. And in fact, the defense, they held these guys to 200 total yards of offense. Oh, I couldn't have been more wrong on this. But who saw this coming? It's just crazy. Now, they were better in penalties. They only had 4 penalties for 34 yards. I said keep it under, what did I say, 5 or fewer, and they did. Time of possession. Listen to this. In the first half, I have it noted here. In the first half, Kent State had the ball 20 minutes and 4 seconds. Arkansas had it for just under 10 minutes. That's a 2-for-1 ratio on clock. Meant they were able to sustain some drives even though they ended in field goals. KJ was 4 of 9 for 48 yards. Arkansas ran the ball 13 times for 57 yards. That's in the first half. Thomas, 10 tackles in the first half. J.I.M. Thomas, 10 tackles, a sack, almost 2 sacks, 1.5 sacks, 1.5 TFLs. Boy, him and Jaden Johnson. Who would have thought we'd be talking about Jaden Johnson back-to-back weeks? Did you see him plant that dude? He planted somebody, man. I don't know who that was, but he absolutely planted that back. Arkansas started this thing off. Their first 1, 2, 3 drives, they were 0 for 3. They didn't score until their fourth drive where they went 8 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Remember, that was 14 points. You had the pick six just a couple series before that. Arkansas did also in the third quarter. They had a 91-yard drive. So we can't be – it's not all bad. It's really not. And I'm not trying to be negative for the sake of being negative. I'm really not. That 91-yard drive, it took 12 plays, 6.5 minutes off the clock. That was a great drive. And I know there's going to be some folks that are bad-mouthing Dan Enos for the Discord people. Shout out. I don't know that I don't know how much I want to put on this game on him. Running backs picking wrong lanes was certainly something that was happening, but also the offensive line not getting pushed. KJ never looked sharp. Receivers dropped. I counted at least 2 drops. I don't know how much of this I want to put on him. This feels like all of the above. They all are guilty of having a rough game on the offensive side of the ball. Nobody looked sharp. And I think Dan Enos was working with what he had. But so far, this offense has not popped off. Again, I ask, how much is this them trying really desperately hard not to open up the playbook? Is that something we're seeing? Because I have a feeling against BYU, you're going to want to open things up just a little bit more. Is Mark Douglas? I see people shouting out Mark Douglas. Mark, if you're in here, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh, there he is. Mark Douglas, and he always has good – Mark just kills it with his takes here. O-line had less energy and excitement than an insurance seminar. I like that. Because I'm sure those are quite boring. Backups never get to touch the field. They certainly didn't today. I didn't see – I mean, I'm sure there was some out there, but I didn't see a lot. Aggies getting blown out. Isn't it beautiful? Are they still – did Miami score again? God bless. I am concerned about our missed tackles. Yeah, I did see – there was a little bit of that. Seemed to be a lot. Well, he says seems to be a lot of those, but the defense was the star of the show, other than KJ carrying the team. Yeah, I just do not like that. I don't like that he had to take this game over. That's just not a good sign. Nudie has turf toe. Oh, that ain't good. That can haunt you all season long. Throw me and Ty out. We will keep KJ safe, bro. You know what? I don't know, man. Maybe it's just unfamiliar players, says Trey. What do you mean? You talking about the new guys, all the transfers? It could be. I really hope this is just them trying to, I don't know. Like maybe they're just a little slow on the year. Maybe it's like we need we need a kick in the pants, and today was it. Today was that. What did Sam Pittman say? We need to be surprised. Maybe they felt a little overconfident about how dominant they were a week ago against who, and they needed a kick in the pants. Maybe that's what this is, and they'll wake up. I'm thinking our skill guys were intimidated by the home atmosphere. Yeah, see, I don't know that I buy that. I don't know, man. It's your home crowd. You're not supposed to be intimidated by it. It's your home crowd. If anything, it ought to energize you. And they've practiced inside that stadium before, but without the crowd. Hey, by the way, guys, just want to let you know, and I already posted it at the beginning of the show, but I am on Facebook. Tuss Talk with Ty is now on Facebook. Pretty neat. I've been putting it off for years. I'm there. I'm on the old Facebook. Hang on, let me pop this back up. There we go. We're just gonna put that. We're gonna put that right there. Now on Facebook. Well, wrong one. I don't know where to put this thing. Should I shrink it down more? There we go. We got her. 41-32 Canes. 5 minutes left in the game. Good. I thought last week was that. What you mean in front of the home crowd? A&M just scored. Oh, y'all, don't tell me that. Hey, what if we say that this gives the guys motivation to be better and that we should feel sorry for BYU next week. Yeah, hopefully that's the case, right? Catherine Molinar. I think they took this game a little bit easier than what they normally would play. We'll just have to watch and see how things turn around. Catherine, thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate that. Who said that, Ty? Who said what? What part? I'm reading a lot of comments. Feels bad for the one defensive guy. Yeah, what was that dude's name? Every time he touched KJ, he fell down with an injury. Felt bad for the guy. Felt bad for the young fella. How many players did KJ hurt today? How many Kent State players? Dude, the same player. And the guy even made a play on KJ, and he still fell down with an injury. I hope Pittman went in the locker room pissed off and walked right out. I think it's going to be a tough week of practice for those guys, and it should be. I mean, they need it, man. They need it. He looked hurt bad after the second hit, right? Doesn't help. Doesn't help that the media is telling the players that it's going to be a blowout. Well, the media is not telling the players anything. Hog barbecue. They're just stating, just like myself. I'm stating what I've been seeing in practice, what I saw last weekend, and what I thought they would do against Kent State. I thought they'd run for 250. I'm kind of surprised the way things went. They were able to run the ball for 172. Again, that's according to ESPN. I'm surprised they even did that based on that first half. Hey, Ty, let's say I had a hot dog mixed with a pickle sandwich. Will this offense look What? Let's say I had a hot dog mixed with a pickle sandwich. Will the offense look What? I don't know what you're talking about. O-line has to ball out next week or LSU's going to feast. All right. I do appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be back on Monday. We're going to have some more reactions. We're going to get some things cleared up. I don't know what time on Monday. I'm assuming after Pittman talks. I'll probably try to go live. Overall, again, I know someone's going to get upset about me being a little more negative, but I don't know, based on what I saw, especially in the first two quarters, first half, that there's anything to be overwhelmingly positive about. You know, and again, 22-point lead or win, that's great. In this day and age, against an opponent like Kent State, year 4 under Sam Pittman, we just didn't see the things that we thought we'd be seeing by year 4, especially up front of the offensive line. And that's back-to-back games where this has been an issue. That's primarily my thing. That's primarily the thing that I'm talking about. It's back-to-back weeks. They haven't been able to fix what's going on up front of the offensive line. Fletcher has greatly improved. There's a positive. You're not wrong. Yeah, he punted. Didn't he have another one inside the 20 again today? Didn't he punt another one inside the 20? I feel like he did. Well, they don't have the punt numbers here. Let me look on Arkansas's. Yeah, Fletcher had 3 punts for 134 yards. That's almost 45 yards per punt. That's pretty good. He had a 47-yarder, and he had 1 punt, once again, back inside the 20. I was upset we didn't get to see Centennial really take off today. I really thought that would be something. Excited to see Armstrong with a couple touchdowns. That's awesome. Good for him. Rack him up. I think there's going to start to be, if they don't get some things fixed on the offensive side of the ball, there's going to be questions about Enos. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. There's going to be some questions. You had 3 weeks, and we haven't seen a turnaround on the offensive side of the ball. What's going on? But then we have to wait for LSU, A&M, and the rest of that schedule to really measure this team up, against the best of the best, which is in the SEC. Although today, not a great start for the SEC, like somebody brought up in chat. All right, that is going to do it. I'll see you guys. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy football, baby. It's still so great that it's back. But 2 weeks down, Arkansas's 2-0. Don't think they'll get any votes to be ranked. I'm going to be real with you. We'll have to see what happens after BYU. I'll be shocked if anybody gives Arkansas a vote to be ranked, but I guess it also depends on what happens in front of Arkansas as well. But they got to play better, man. Right now, I don't think they're a top 25 team. I just don't. I'm not seeing it right now. That doesn't mean I'm not coming down off. Well, that might be another conversation entirely on Monday. Am I still at 9 wins? Are you sticking with your initial win total? That might be something we chat about on Monday. Are you concerned moving forward? 77% of you said yes. 22% of you guys said no. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys on Monday. Again, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hogs are 2-0. There's the positive. There's the plus side right there. I'll see you guys later.